Hi, this is Ashutosh Gowarikar, and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
Well, there are very few filmmakers in our industry for whom movie making is not merely a money making exercise. It is something that they can give their left or right arm for, and they just live and breathe the entire experience that they are going to just put across on the celluloid. And it's a huge privilege to have Ashutosh Gowarikar, one of the filmmakers who just literally just absorbs each and every single experience of making a film before and after. So Ashutosh, huge pleasure to have you back on Bollywood Hungama, first of all.
Yeah, hi Faridoon. Thanks.
And you're coming back after quite a few years, and but that intensity and the passion that you have is I think has grown by many folds. The amazing part was at the event the other day was the way you just introduced each and every crew member.
Yeah, yeah.
Very few people do that actually. So I'm sure that you just the way you give respect to the entire cast and crew and the technical team as well, which many people at times ignore completely. Where does that stem from as far as you are concerned?
See, I firmly believe that cinema is completely collaborative. And of course, it's one man's vision and it's one man's calls, that's the director. But still, I think when the director shares that vision with his entire team, all the team members bring their knowledge, their vision, and they try and align it with the director. So somewhere, I can't do it alone. I cannot do it without my DOP. I cannot do it with my costume designer. I cannot do it with my action. Can I choreograph action scenes? I can't. So there are so many aspects which a director actually does not know.
Right.
The only thing he knows is how to tell a story, but he is not aware of the craft. And hence I feel that they are the silent heroes who I love and respect. And I feel I must proudly share them with the entire audience. And that's the idea of bringing them on the stage together.
Okay, now Mohenjo Daro, you've chosen the subject. Did you have apprehensions that it's an era that no one has, many people have not even like understood that what exactly it must be? It's like 2,500 years back from what it is right now.
Yeah.
Did you have apprehensions that you're approaching something? You had apparently a 200-page script that you went with to Hrithik, and then it was condensed to 80-page script after that.
No. See, the thing is that when you decide to do something like this, when you decide that you want to make a film on, say, Mughal period, or you want to make a film on British Raj, it's when you're thinking whether you want to do it. That's where the apprehension is. But once your decision is made, no, I want to make something on the Indus Valley civilization, or today it's known as the Harappan civilization, that apprehension is gone. It's replaced by just excitement and a lot of intrigue, which you're trying to bring in, not only in the script, but in the entire shooting process, in the entire post-production. Because it's a very awe-inspiring moment to be, taking a peek into that world. If I equate it, I'll equate it with, what is the emotion we feel when we go to a foreign land? When you enter Paris for the first time, what is our first emotion? We look at the city and we feel, oh my God, ये कैसा शहर है, ये लोग यहाँ पे कैसे रहते हैं, इनके क्या rules हैं, क्या कायदा है यहाँ पे? You feel enamored by that. Any other city. So it's the same emotion here, where you're entering into another civilization, and you're trying to explore that who are these people? These are our ancestors. How did they lead their lives? What are the manners and morals of their society? And what happened to them? So I think that takes precedence in the entire movie making process.
You face that with the Jodha Akbar as well, that a lot of theories they keep on coming up, and then entire tussle between history and the cinematic liberties that you can possibly take. I spoke to Hrithik about the same thing. He said that Akbar was 4 feet something, so practically it couldn't have been, I couldn't have played it in the first place. And he was not good looking and all those things as well. Now, when it comes to Mohenjo Daro, a lot of things are being said about the fact that, in fact, I spoke to a historian, and she was, she had those apprehensions that in terms of the speech, the way it was, that the Sanskritized Hindi, it was not spoken at that point of time, and the houses were not the way it is there right now. The clothes of women were not really there the way it is being shown as far as the movie is concerned, and even the headgear and all those things as well. So how do you deal with the criticism that is coming your way?
No, the criticism is bound to come because even within the history, even within historians, there are 3-4 different theories. There are different hypotheses. There are different interpretations. New historian that comes in studies the past historian's work and analyzes and gives his own interpretation. Same is in the case in archaeology, where you have archaeological excavations done by a team of archaeologists and they form their theory, which necessarily might not align with another team. So there is a lot of speculation. And in this case, the speculation is quite broad. But to make a movie, I had to take one stand. I had to take one chain of thought. So I followed Dr. Jonathan Mark Kanaya, who is a leading archaeologist at, he's given 35 years to Harappa as well as Mohenjo Daro. And then I also got in touch with 5 other archaeologists within India, Mr. Ajit Prasad, Prabhakar, Krishnan, Vasant Shinde, Mr. Bisht, who are all from Archaeological Survey of India, they are from Baroda University, Pune University, and all have expertise in different aspects of the same civilization. So I aligned with them, got all the information from them to realize that, yeah, there is a lot of speculation. Now, how do I tell the story that I want to tell?
Right.
What is my intention? My intention is that we look at the Greek civilization, we look at the Roman civilization, we look at the Egyptian civilization with great awe. It's been done a lot of times in movies, but never have we seen our civilization. So I thought, why not make a movie on our first ancestors?
Sure.
Now, of course, the title Mohenjo Daro, the city was not called by this name then. It's not possible because this name was given by when the archaeologists excavated the site.
Right.
But I cannot give it my own name either. Because the moment I call it my own name, suppose I called it Mohenjo Daro, there could be more reservations that how am I giving a fictitious name to one of the cities of this older civilization.
Sure.
So the archaeologists advised me that it is always safer to call it by the popular name. And anyway, I want to reach out to a global audience where everybody already knows about the Indus civilization and the city called Mohenjo Daro. So it works well for me to have a common name as a reference. Coming to the costumes and all the reference materials from the figurines that have been found, excavated. And in those figurines, if you notice, most of the women are all naked, and the men are also very scantily clad. Now, I cannot make a movie with so much nudity, obviously. It will not be a good family viewing.
Definitely.
So I had to create and imagine a costume which will be away from all the different styles that we have seen in other movies and yet be special for this civilization. There are different kinds of headdresses that are there in the figurines. The one which I have created for Chani is something that is a kind of a milder form of what the headdresses are. So what happens is when you're telling a story, you have to somewhere draw from facts and
Right.
add your fiction.
Sure.
Because if you don't add fiction, then it's a documentary that you're making because it's purely factual. And I was not interested in doing that. It has to be a movie. Even the languages, no one knows. The script, the Sindhu script is still undeciphered. And there are at least 50 different linguists who are trying to crack the code even
Yeah.
today.
Right.
They say that it could have been close to Prakrit or Brahui. It predates Sanskrit and all of that.
Ji.
But I realized that I want to make a film in Hindi. I want to catch the attention and the imagination of the common man. So I must use a language which is a mix of a smattering of mix of different languages in the region to create a new phonetic sound for the film.
Sure.
Which is what I did. And I've done that, not now, I've done it in the past also, because in Jodha Akbar also, I refrained from using the Persian or chaste Urdu that could have been used in Akbar's court. Because if I did that, it would have just not been understood.
Absolutely.
So somewhere you have to bridge and find your in-between point when you're trying to create fiction. But I've done it with responsibility. I'm not doing it. कहते हैं कि मनगढ़ंत आपने कर दिया, अपने आप create कर दिया. वैसे नहीं है. The archaeologists are on board on the film. I got the approval from them on the script. So all those little details that I like to do, so that I know, I've put my best foot forward. That has been done, and I feel that whoever has a reservation to this, I don't oppose them, because it's not right, because they might be following another chain of thought. They could be reading and following another historian and archaeologist. So I cannot say they are wrong, because these are two different interpretations.
Like you said that at the event that every 50 years the interpretation of history undergoes a change.
Undergoes a change, yeah, absolutely.
I was speaking to Hrithik and he said that he's so particular, Ashutosh is so particular about the entire details that there was this wall that was being built, and I felt that maybe if it is slightly taller, it'll be better. So, but he just asked that just measure it. And once it was measured, he said that no, it is wrong. It has to be 2 feet lower than what it is.
Yeah.
Anyone who has known you is aware of the fact that how much respect you have for the writers who write for you, or the fact that how much effort you just put into in terms of researching, and even for Jodha Akbar, the way you've met the historians, and even apart from that, even for Lagaan, the sort of effort that you put in was nothing short of Herculean. Many people would totally stay away from all those things. यार इतनी मेहनत कौन करना है, किसको करना है? And then after that, you're not too sure that what sort of results you're going to get. Do you feel at times, but at the same time, you are a totally in fact filmy guy as well. Filmy थोड़ा सा at times उसके connotations negative हो जाते हैं, but why I'm saying it, that you've been associated with movies for the last more than 30 years now. You've done television, you've done cinema, and you literally breathe it in every sense of the word. So somewhere at the end of the day, it's also got to be engaging, entertaining as well. It cannot be documentary, and it is, since a lot of money is involved into it, you have to make sure that it's something which is appealing to a certain section of people as well. Do you feel that at times people don't realize it, and don't that the effort, the honest intentions which are going behind doing something, instead of they have certain criticism which need not be fair?
I don't think they should be lenient towards that. I would say that because I've never been. When I'm watching a movie and it's a big historical, I am not, when I'm buying a ticket and I'm going in, I'm not thinking कि इन्होंने कितनी मेहनत की है picture पे. I want to see the movie, and if I see the movie and I love it, then I will start appreciating, oh my God, great film, and what an effort these guys put in. But I will never give bonus points for effort. So if people come in to see the film with already anticipation and a defiance that now that you've made something, show us and engage us, because that's the attitude we have.
Sure.
So what is important is to have a movie that grasps their attention and entertains them while creating this world. Now, as you rightly said, it's a Herculean task to create another world. There are too many things that go there, too many details that you need to do and bring them all in together and everything. But I like to do it in a manner where I have my fact right. So for example, when you're talking about the wall, the information that I got from the archaeologists is that all the cities in this civilization, their houses, structures and designs were all very similar to each other. There was a grid-like pattern in the layout of the city, the urban planning of it. The brick sizes were same. So whatever that we see in the movie right now, in terms of the architecture, we have done it exactly the way it was. So the size of the bricks that we have used are the actual brick sizes you'll find in the excavations. If you have seen the song Tu Hai, in that we have shot on the Great Bath. The Great Bath is exactly the same size as what you see in the excavation. Because at least that we can stay honest to and true to, and enjoy the fact that we did it with the same the way it is. Because one thing that we cannot have as a source is who are the people and what are their stories that we have to create. So I like to, in each of my movies, that creation of the fiction is mine, but the facts are all real. Like even Jodha Akbar, we put up the Agra fort, which is the actual size. But what happened within the corridors of the fort is something that was fiction. So that combination, I feel, is very exciting, and I really enjoy doing that.
As you also mentioned at the event that your last two films haven't really worked at the box office. What's Your Rashi and Khele Ji Jaan Se. Now you're coming back with a historical, it's a hugely mounted film, and then you're having another film competing with you at the box office on 12th of August. What is your state of mind like?
No, I'm feeling good that I got the opportunity to make this film. I lost a bit of time when I was prepping for Buddha, it took me a year and a half after Khele. Production reasons, it did not take off that time. But that gave me a kind of a gap of 1.5 years. in which time, by the time I had written Everest and I was working on Mohenjo. So Everest was a show that took me 2 years to set it up and put it up on screen, on television, and then this. So it's great to be finally finishing the movie and coming out on 12th August. Yeah, about being a clash with another movie, I think it's a very common thing. We have only 52 weeks and we have 400 movies. And how do you divide releases when you keep dodging festivals because ye festival inka hai, ye festival uska hai, you already have, because what happens is in a festival, the audiences are in a festive mood and they would like to see their favorite star on screen in that state of mind. And hence that division happens. I sincerely hope that all the films, including Rustom, that are releasing all of us together, I hope all of us make money, all our films are seen, all our films, whatever money that we have invested comes back. That's the best that we can right now hope for. In terms of whether this can ever be avoided, I don't think so. Every week we'll have some clash or the other. And in my case, I've been fortunate with my last clash, which was Lagaan and Gadar.
Yeah,
and both thankfully worked at the same time.
Yeah.
So I hope history repeats itself.
Right.
Pun intended.
Do you feel it's more about the word of mouth? Ultimately, that's something which is the most important thing, that what people communicate to others, and that's how this really builds it up.
It's both ways. Sometimes a movie works just because of the sheer the strength of the story that it has. Some movies work purely on the star power, where people come in to see the star and follow the star and what he has done. So I think when you have a film that opens well and it also has great content, that actually the box office is limitless for that. Sometimes a big star can get you an opening and you can still recover. So there are very different aspects to how a film opens, which is unpredictable. So everyone hopes for the best, that you have a film that opens well and your content also is liked, so that you're able to stay longer at the box office.
Hrithik is coming back after 2 years post Bang Bang, and he definitely has a very strong pull at the box office.
Yeah.
I think very few actors have that pull, that just on the basis of their own name they can bring in the audience as far as the weekend is concerned. Does that just ease in your entire state of mind right now? That
oh, absolutely, yes, of course. Look, but you're talking about release. I would say
even the way he is getting involved in the entire promotions of Mohenjo Daro is something that is, he's totally into it, which may not have been the case in all his movies, but this is something that he feels that it's one of his best performances as well. That's what I think he has been saying as well.
Of course, he's a very big draw, and one is a little bit relaxed right now because he's the hero of the film, and we are hoping audiences come to see him first, so there'll be an opening. But I would go a step back and say that first of all, he's agreed to do the film. That's where actually, you can keep dreaming and you can have great scripts, but if you don't have the right actor who says yes to it, you cannot make it. So I'm very glad that he said yes to Mohenjo Daro, and I could actually make it the way the script needs, that kind of scale and impact. Apart from his own larger than life persona as an actor that he can bring to the character of Salman. Yeah, his intensity and involvement also is very required and very welcome. In fact, it's so much, even during shoot, is that sometimes you feel that beyond the scene, Hrithik kar jayega. You tend to even become lazy, that to make the scene believable, you have the star who's going to give a performance and take that scene to another level, which is done so many times. What more advantage a movie can have if a star or an actor goes beyond the script, takes the character a few notches higher than what the written word was. So Hrithik has been able to do that.
Pooja Hegde has got, I think, a tremendous screen presence, and even in terms of the entire, when she was introduced at the event as well, I think she's got a wonderful body language as well. The way she, I think it's important that visually how one looks, especially when it's a new face. Do you feel it's another added advantage that the way people have warmed up to her, and I think she's looking amazing in Tu Hai, the way.
No, absolutely. When you're introducing a new face, what is our biggest fear? Biggest fear is whether that new face is going to be liked by not one or two but millions. If that doesn't happen, somewhere the grace of the movie comes a little notches lower, because everyone wants to see a big star as a hero and a big star as an actress in the film, And each time you cannot have that. Sometimes the script's requirements are not those. So in the case of Mohenjo, I needed a new face which has no previous baggages of stardom.
Right.
And someone who has dignity and grace in the newcomer has that dignity and grace naturally. So Pooja's someone who, when Sunita spotted her in a commercial, and she said, why not call her in an auditioner? That's when I brought her in, and in the first audition itself, I could see that she has a naturalness in her which is very infectious. She can imbibe that in the character well, in the character of Chani. So now when audiences are liking her, it's a sense of relief. Okay, at least one stage done. As far as the looks of the girl are concerned and the character and everything, she's been accepted. So that it's a satisfaction.
One question I think that must be constantly asked to you, and it was asked to you at the event as well, that with Bahubali and Bajirao Mastani coming in, so the entire scale for the period movie I think has just grown by many notches. Both Bahubali and Bajirao Mastani, they had those war scenes which was something that was really appreciated. But I don't think that you have those sort of war scenes in Mohenjo Daro in the first place. It's more like combat with, I think, 1-to-1 combat is...
I was done with my war scenes and battle scenes in Jodha Akbar. So I knew that, I finished that. I don't want to touch that again.
Right.
And the other thing is, in Mohenjo Daro, during this civilization, there were no kings. There were no armies. There were no battles. So automatically I had to refrain from getting into that space. You realize more when you actually see the movie. But this film, the requirements are of a slightly different kind, which you'll see.
What about VFX? Because VFX is something that I think any such movie definitely needs something, and with the influences that we've been getting, Hollywood, the way Hollywood has literally become like a part of us now with the sort of movies that are coming in. Is it something that you've really just paid attention to as far as VFX for the movie?
I paid a lot of attention even during Jodha. So Jodha Akbar's requirements of VFX are very different. And in this, the requirements have been different, of a very different kind. So one was first wondering that how do we pull off the VFX in a movie at such a low budget? Because when you compare it with a Hollywood budget, they're $100 million and they're $200 million just on VFX.
Right.
And our cost of production is itself about 15 million or 20 million max. So within that, how do you now, our ambition is same, but we don't have that wherewithal to create that.
Sure.
So we have tried in our own way to see how we can maximize in VFX. Of course, the bottom line, even for VFX, is if the story works, the VFX will work.
Sure.
If the story doesn't, no amount of great VFX can save the film. We have tried to blend that, keeping in mind, let's have the story right, and let's have the VFX complement that story. So we have tried to balance that. I hope audiences connect.
Hrithik said at the event that Ashutosh Gowarikar is very, very romantic, is very intensely romantic at heart. We've seen that in Jodha Akbar, in song picturization, the amount of sensuousness that you brought to it without really overtly making the actors doing, but just the mere glances and the back shots of I think Aishwarya, the way they were. And we are seeing something of the similar sort from what we see in Tu Hai. I think it's outstandingly beautifully picturized song.
Thanks.
I think the camera work is outstanding, but the way the entire element of romance is building up is really outstanding. So ये आपने romantic side जो आशुतोष गोवारिकर का है, तो आप कुछ उसके बारे में अगर please बताएं तो.
I like the romance which is the simmering romance.
जी.
Which is expressed more by glances or by looking at each other. Or by just being in the presence of the person and still being able to express love. Those kind of emotions I like very much. I think I try to capture that because that's something that we feel most. Once the commitment happens, then it enters another zone of romance where where it becomes more about passion, it becomes more about belonging to each other and kasme wade. So that's another aspect of the romance. I like the aspect of things left unsaid, unspoken, but yet expressing desire to meet, longing,
Right. So
I like
mere
that.
eye contact or
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as I made the introduction about you, that you are someone for whom filmmaking is not merely like a money making exercise, but it's much more than that. Similar is the case for A R Rehman as well.
Yeah.
And that whenever we've spoken to or whatever we've seen of the way he functions, there are certain projects that he totally gets immersed in, and it's not like a money making thing for him at all. It's like the way he works, the way we've spoken to the people who have worked with him, and he just gets totally immersed into it. He has worked with you in the past, and he has wonderful things to say about you. How do you convince Rehman for coming into it? And I think what he has done with the music is really wonderful.
This time around on Mohenjo Daro, our working relationship was much more evolved. Because I think the experience of our past 4 projects, fourth one being Everest, the experiences of that was somewhere brushing off on the creativity in this one. Because if you look at Lagaan, it being a modern India, rural sounds. If you look at Jodha Akbar, it's Mughal and Rajput combination. And now in this one, we're going further back where we don't know for sure how many kinds of instruments were there. What are the basic instruments they were using? What could have been the sounds? What are the sounds that we hear when you think of the Greek or the Roman or the Egyptian civilizations?
Ji.
So that was a very exciting aspect for us to research and develop. Look at the use of the instruments. What I like most about Rehman is, despite him being such a huge composer and creator of so many varied, worked with so many directors, not only here but even abroad.
Right.
Like in case of now Sindhuma, the song Sindhuma, which is also known as Tu Hai. My basic brief to him was, how can we have a sound which is spiritual,
Ji.
which does not sound like the temple or the masjid or the gurudwara or the church or the Jewish synagogue or wherever in the world, and still be different, still be ours. And that's how he came up with the call that he has created, which I think is incredible, because that as a sound is like a mnemonic, a reminder for the civilization.
And it's very minimalist.
Yeah.
And whenever Rehman is minimalist, he is brilliant actually.
Yeah.
There are few of the songs when he uses very few instruments, and they just really become like timeless. Okay, now Ashutosh, we are having a rapid fire for you as well. It's not the regular rapid fire that you're used to. I think you'll like it. It's more to do with the movie per se.
Okay.
So rapid fire with Ashutosh Gowarikar. A genre apart from period films that you'd like to explore?
The fantasy.
Any reference for that?
Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. A recent film you wish that you could have directed or been a part of?
The new Star Wars.
The new Star Wars, okay. The best and worst thing of casting Hrithik as Salman?
The best and worst thing.
Yeah.
Best thing is a huge performer. Worst thing is expecting him to do stunts and make him do stunts when he's not in the best of health, physically, body wise. That's the worst thing we made him do.
That's very interesting. Lagaan with Aamir Khan, Swades with Shah Rukh Khan. If you have to make a film with Salman, what kind of film will it be?
With Salman, I think I would like to do a superhero film.
Superhero film?
Yeah, but in a true sense, he's already a superhero. But in a true sense, a superhero.
Given a chance to cast any 2 actors from Bollywood for your next film, who will they be?
That's a trick question. I would straight away say, in the young lot, I'm saying the youngest lot would be Varun and Tiger.
Varun and Tiger?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. One weird or hilarious secret no one knows about Ashutosh Gowarikar. Is there something about you that no one knows?
I'm a very funny guy.
I'm sure that you are. That
Nobody knows that.
But we've seen that in your movies as well. Like the way Lagaan was extremely funny. It was a really funny film.
Yeah. But what happens is the drama of the film and a Swades and a Jodha Akbar, the massiveness and the seriousness of the film, they precede me as an image. So everyone tends to think ये बहुत serious आदमी होगा.
Right.
I'm a very funny guy.
All right. True or false? Okay. According to you, is it true or false? Mohenjo Daro is Hrithik Roshan's best performance till date. Do you feel that?
True.
Yeah. Okay. No other actor from Bollywood could have done Mohenjo Daro better than Hrithik Roshan.
True. Absolutely true.
Ashutosh, we've taken a few questions from your fans as well.
Okay.
So they're interesting. I think you'll enjoy that. This is Ashweta Deo from Auckland, New Zealand.
Okay.
My question is that why do you only like making historical films?
Yeah, I've also often asked myself, but if you notice, I made a Swades, I also made a Vatse Rashi, which are not historicals, which are contemporary films.
Right.
But I think I like to create new worlds, different worlds, and peek into them, and also make the audience peek into them. So I think I like to create different worlds. But I never asked Alfred Hitchcock why he only makes murder mysteries.
All right, Simran from Jaipur. Ask him to tell about the working experience with Hrithik Roshan a second time around. What was the experience like?
Yeah, I think absolutely wonderful. From the last that we worked together to now, he's probably done 3 more movies. And I think he's evolved a lot as an actor. He has become more nuanced. And that was very beneficial for the film because he's brought that to this movie. And it has been, we were more at ease working on this one with the knowledge of a Jodha Akbar, having done Jodha Akbar.
Correct.
So it was more fun.
Okay, this is Debi from Bhubaneswar. When will you work with Aamir Khan again? Best wishes for Mohenjo Daro.
I would love to work with Aamir again, with Shah Rukh again. But I don't have the script that they can say yes to right away. Because each of my scripts have taken me 3 years, 2 years to make. Like even for Mohenjo Daro, it took me about 3 years to do. So I would, given an opportunity, if I would have a script, I would straight do a film with it.
Lagaan has completed 15 years, so, and it still is a film which is very, very fresh, and many people say that it's one of the finest films made in India ever. How do you look back at the 15 years of Lagaan now?
I think we're very fortunate. When I'm saying we, I say me and my entire team again. Films usually don't have a shelf life. Films are usually seen in the movie hall for 3 hours, you get entertained, and then you leave the hall and you forget the movie. Probably after 3 months, 6 months, sometimes a year. But for a film to remain in the minds of the audience, in the hearts of the audiences, is a very rare thing. And especially when it's 15 years, people still remember. Generations change and they still look at the movie. I think we're very fortunate.
Okay, and are you guys making any extra efforts for just ensuring the fact, because we've seen in the recent times Udta Punjab and Great Grand Masti, they've been leaked, and are you making any extra efforts to ensure that nothing of this sort happens with you guys? Because very casual approach is being taken right now at certain levels.
Yeah, no, we have been taking we've never been casual about piracy. We have always taken stringent measures.
Not you guys, but certain agencies.
I'm saying the entire industry. We have always tried to fight piracy since video cassettes came in. I mean, it's not a new phenomenon now. The battle intensifies now because earlier it was a cassette, now it's a pen drive. The entire movie can be on an email. So our battle has intensified, and we are trying to plug in as many loopholes as we can. But ultimately, there is no better appeal than appealing to the audience that please do not watch pirated. Because when you make a movie like this, it's being made for the big screen.
Ji.
If we had to do anything for television or for laptops or for cell phones, we would do that with as much love in a different format. You'd make a web series. We would make small vignettes for laptops where you don't have to see this kind of entertainment. But when you make a movie like this, or anybody who makes a movie, even if it's a contemporary film, is being made for the cinemas. So please come to the theatres to watch the film. Don't be happy and satisfied with watching that movie on your laptop.
No, that is there, but these days people watch the entire movies on their mobile while just traveling in local trains. But what has happened with Udta Punjab and Grand Masti is that apparently it has been leaked from within the censor office because of the certain carelessness over there. So
that's
that is something which is
that's allegedly. But I'm not aware of the facts there.
like Great Grand Masti team. They had a press conference on Saturday and they've given all the details how the sealed copy had been delivered and how it happened. So
I think in case of Udta Punjab and even Grand Masti, it's very sad that they had to go through this, where you put in an effort, you make a movie and everything, and then finally it's not just about business. It's not about your box office getting affected. It's a very bad feeling that शादी हो रही है, the dulhan is in a sehra पहन के बैठी हुई है, and before the actual ceremony can happen, what if you just unveil her?
Absolutely.
That's the kind of a bad feeling it has. You have to wait for the right time. I do जब तक नहीं बोलेंगे, या कबूल है नहीं बोलेंगे, या स्वाहा नहीं बोलेंगे, तब तक आपको नहीं देखना चाहिए उनका चेहरा. So similarly, till the film doesn't release on a particular date in cinema halls, it should not be seen.
But do you feel that that the amount of entertainment tax that you guys pay and the sort of in fact response that you get from the government agencies is something which is not really there, that ideally strict action should be taken? Salman has said I think 2-3 days back that strict action should, I think he तो खैर saying कि टाडा लगा दो उनके ऊपर, वो थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो गया, लेकिन ये है कि that he is saying that it should be strictly dealt with. Anyone just indulging in piracy should be strictly dealt with. Considering that the amount of tax that you guys are paying. Do you feel that that the government agencies should be more stringent and
absolutely proactive? So we are taking steps towards that, and we are trying to have a dialogue. A fresh
CDs are available right next to station actually. On the station, on the radio station, you can get any CD almost the next day itself. So it's happening right under the noses of the police. So I'm sure that they can control that for at least. But it is selling freely.
But no, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about what happens when somebody in Alaska is able to see it on the net. My trouble is that. So it's not about stopping the piracy. It's about don't watch pirated. So my call to an audience is please don't watch pirated.
That is surely there. Okay, let's move on. This is an interesting one. This is Haseeb from Karachi, Pakistan. Since Mohenjo Daro is now in Pakistan, is there any special plans to promote it here? And will you be releasing in Pakistan as well?
We would like to. UTV is right now looking at the distribution plan for the region. I don't know what call has been taken, but yes, we would be definitely interested to release it in Pakistan.
Apparently, Sultan has got a tremendous response in Pakistan in terms of the box office. They've got I think a 15 crore weekend or something like that they had in Pakistan. This is Abhinav from Kolkata. What you think is the most important scene in Mohenjo Daro? I'm sure that you can't reveal it maybe. But
I would say the first sighting of the city.
Okay.
The first sighting.
Which you've shown in the promo as well.
But that's different. The film is different.
Okay, this is Nishant from Mumbai. इनका सवाल जो है वो बहुत से लोगों के जहन में definitely होगा. Ever since you have started directing films, you have stopped acting. Why?
Why? Because I think direction just takes over too much time.
Right.
Because
वो आपके घुंघराले बाल और सारा जो टेलीविजन पे आप सब लोगों के माइंड में clearly है.
No, I would love to act. But I sometimes feel even if I'm offered by another director to act, I would. But if you ask me whether I direct myself, I don't think so. Because I feel direction itself is very, very difficult.
Sure.
And I would rather focus on directing. And I salute Mr. V. Shantaram and Mr. Gurudat, Mr. Raj Kapoor, that how they acted and directed and created such classics. They were really special people who could do that.
Absolutely. This is Jasmine from Canada. How has it been working with Bollywood's biggest superstars from Shah Rukh to Hrithik? You guys are going at Locarno Film Festival.
Yeah.
Excited about that?
Yeah, very much. because
If I'm
Locarno
not
was
mistaken,
mine.
Lagaan was
Yeah,
Locarno as well.
yeah. Locarno was at Locarno, and we won our first award over there.
And it was like
The
an
audience award.
open air
Yeah,
show
yeah,
was there
yeah,
for that. Yeah.
It's called the Piazza Grande, which means the grand square, piazza. It's like, imagine Flora Fountain, the entire Flora Fountain. What if we keep chairs there and a screen on one side and have 8,000 people watch a movie? That's what the Piazza Grande is. So when I saw Lagaan there with 8,000 people, all screaming and yelling for Bhuvan and his team, it's an unforgettable screening for me. That's the greatest screening I've ever seen of Lagaan. And it feels great, honored actually, to be selected again for as the closing film at Locarno.
At Locarno.
So really, really looking forward to how 8,000 people now watch Mohenjo Daro. Always been wonderful.
So this is definitely Shah Rukh's one of his best works, and he acknowledges that as well.
Yeah, I think 2-3 other movies also he did very well, which I
Chak De India,
love. Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na.
Yeah.
And it was great fun to even watch him work during Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na, because there itself,
Okay,
that
you were part of that movie.
I co-acted with him there.
Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na, you were,
Yeah, I played Imran the drummer.
Yeah, you were the guy who was bullying him.
Yeah. So it was fun to be co-acting with him there. It's been wonderful because see, for me, both Aamir and Shah Rukh have been a part of my acting career.
Ji.
And then we split up and I came behind camera and I directed them. So there was a different kind of a fun while we made those movies.
Okay.
Hrithik was a new Abhishek or even all the actresses, whether it's Priyanka or Deepika, are people who I met while in the business.
Sure.
And I'm very glad I met them because they're all immensely talented. And they've all contributed in very fine ways to my movie making career. Because, without Priyanka, I couldn't have done Avatse Rashi, the way she could play the 12 parts. Or the way Deepika played Kalpana Datta and Abhishek played Surja Sen on my last movie.
Right.
They really brought to life my scripts and my characters.
Bilkul.
So it's been a blessed 10 years for me of directing, 15 years.
This is Sakshay Bhatia from Chandigarh. Would Mohenjo Daro be long too? Why are his films long? Is it lucky for him?
Sorry, I missed a question.
Is Mohenjo Daro long too? What is it? And why does he like making long films? Is it lucky for him? Is it lucky for him, considering Lagaan worked like brilliantly?
No, see, what happens is when you're making a murder mystery, it cannot be more than 100, 110 minutes. When you're making an animation film, it cannot be more than 90 minutes. When you're making a comedy, it cannot be more than, again, 120-minute max, outer side. Thrillers, 2 hours. But the moment you're making a drama, and especially a period drama, it needs more time to unfold. So if you look at the biggest drama films, even internationally, whether it's Lawrence of Arabia or it's Lord of the Rings, they're all 3 hours and 3 hours plus. So in this particular case, it's a make-believe world. Hence, for Mohenjo Daro, the duration of the film has been 2 hours 30 minutes. So it's much lesser than all my previous films.
This is Pratik from Sydney. Was it difficult to research about the subject? What did you use as reference point?
Yes, it was difficult because the reference material was available only in archaeology books. And this categorizes as prehistory. So prehistory means there is no account of what happened there. So realize that you have to only draw from all excavation and archaeological findings. And when I went through all the books, about 100 odd books, I came across the name of Dr. Jonathan Mark Kanaya, who is the head of anthropological department in the University of Wisconsin. And he's worked some 35 years, 40 years at Harappa and Mohenjo Daro.
Ji.
So I invited him over. I had a seminar with him and 5 other Indian archaeologists who are Mr. Ajit Prasad, Mr. Prabhakar, Vasant Shinde, Mr. Krishnan and Mr. Bisht, who are all from Baroda University, Pune University, Archaeological Survey of India. So they kind of gave me all the information about their findings.
Sure.
Each one has worked at the different sites of not only Mohenjo Daro and Harappa but also Lothar and Kalimangan and Rakhigarhi. So that helped in developing the script for me.
Suhail from Chennai. Can we expect a Power Pack teaser in coming days? Are you planning another teaser for Mohenjo Daro?
Yeah. we are first showcasing the songs right now and the dialogue promos, and close to release we'll have another, not teaser, trailer.
Trailer. Jasmine from Ottawa, Canada. Who's more of a perfectionist, himself or Hrithik?
Both, I would say.
Both of you?
Yeah.
Even Hrithik is very
yeah.
particular about this thing. Bichitra from Cuttack. When is the second video song promo of Mohenjo Daro coming out?
By the time she sees this show,
Okay, and which is the song?
she'll see it.
Okay. This name has not been given. But it's an interesting question. But the name, I'm not having the name right now. What attracted you most about Mohenjo Daro and its life that you made a film on it? What is it that attracted you most about Mohenjo Daro?
The fact that we don't know anything about it. We have no idea about who these people were.
Right.
What were the manners and morals of their society?
Right.
What is the politics of the time? What could have been the religion they were following?
That's interesting actually.
Were they following any religion? What was the trade like? What was within the cities, what was the relationship? What was the relationship with the foreign lands?
Correct.
All this we know nothing about. So that drew me. I got excited by these aspects.
Great. This is Siddhartha from Lucknow. Which film was more difficult to make, Jodha Akbar or Mohenjo Daro?
No, for me, every film that I make has got its own challenges
Right.
and its own unpredictability.
Ji.
So each one is a different number altogether. So I cannot compare between the two. I think both have been challenging.
Okay, now Ashutosh, last question to you is that you've made, I think, a serial in Marathi as well. I think quite some time back, if I'm not mistaken. You've worked in a Marathi serial,
No.
or like a television series or something like that.
No.
No. But Marathi play, have you been part of?
No.
Not really.
No.
Okay, but the entire what is being said, that amazing stuff that has been happening in Marathi films right now.
Yeah.
And even in terms of box office, there's a tremendous growth as well. How do you look at that personally, and is it something that you'd like to explore, maybe like making a movie in Marathi in the future?
No, I'm
as
glad
a
that
producer?
Marathi is the entire generation of filmmakers that has come in is rebelling in a way
Ji.
to the genre of comedy, which was ruling Marathi industry for quite some time.
Right.
Probably 2 decades or so. And I'm glad that they want to tell stories that they believe in.
Ji.
And that could be drama, that could be a small, quirky, independent film. You know, they are having the freedom to say what they want
Ji.
and set it up in any strata of society.
Bilkul.
It doesn't have to be set up in Mumbai or in Pune or Kolhapur. It can be other parts of Maharashtra also. So the stories are going across inter districts, which is an amazing thing, which has not happened in the past.
Ji.
And to have a film set in another district which goes all across Maharashtra is something also which is a new thing
Bilkul.
that
Absolutely.
is happening.
Absolutely.
So I'm actually very, very excited, very thrilled with the filmmakers also. All of them, they are incredible.
Fantastic. So Ashutosh Gowarikar, wonderful talking to you once again, and so much to learn, and it's really insightful discussion that we've had, and all the best wishes for Mohenjo Daro. Looking forward to it eagerly, and we hope that it's a great success, and looking forward to all your future ventures. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Faridoon.
You'd like to say something to your fans on Facebook?
Yeah, hi guys. Looking forward to meet you all on 12th August.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.